forget. Next thing, I've just lost another year. Saying to myself, don't worry, and it's cool. Trying really hard. Occupy my brain. Oh yeah.
Welcome back, guys. We are at Harley Davidson in Shores, and today I am testing out this, the Harley Davidson 2016 version Night Rod. It is a proper muscle bike. So looking around this bike, I think it's a pretty good looking bike. It definitely screams out the features of a muscle bike without any shadow of a doubt. And what's really good about it is that, you know, you've got 123 brake horsepower. The weight of the bike, wait for this, is 289 kilos. It's a big bruiser of a machine. Going from the front, you've got the 43mm forks. You've also got, which is a very nice feature I think for something this powerful, is the Brembo brakes, which is a really nice toucher. Obviously all ABS as standard. What's good about these brakes as well is that when you do pull the lever, they do the ABS does kick in straight away, but it doesn't snatch it and hold it. It's a really nice braking system, so looking forward to trying that today. Moving back on the bike then, you've got the V-twin 60-degree engine, which is a 1250, all liquid cooled, which is great. Obviously something very different from Harley, because most are air cooled. You've also got this really nice frame, which has been designed by Porsche as well as the engine. So it's a really unique machine in itself. Also, normally you'd think the petrol tank is here, but it's actually here. So with the petrol tank being here, I am supposing that the centre of gravity will be a lot better when I'm manoeuvring the bike around. Then moving to the back, you've got, on this bike in particular, you've got the Vance and Hines slip-on, so it should give it a nicer tone on the bike. And then moving around the bike, moving to the back of the bike, you've then got the rear Brembo discs, and you've then got this. And this for me screams muscle. It is the 240 wide Scorcher tyre, which is a really nice feature again. I'm looking forward to this tyre purely based on grip and actual manoeuvrability as well, so going round the bends. I'm really intrigued to see how this handles. But then moving to the front of the bike, you then got your normal features now, which are on the Harleys. You've got the off-run switch here and the start, the cancelling out indicators. On the left-hand side, you've got the high-low beams, the horn, left indicator, etc. And at the front here with the dials, then you've got your fuel gauge here, speedo, and revometer, which is on the left hand side, all nice and very clear to observe. So yes, without further ado, I'll tell you what we'll do now is get this bike started and see just how it sounds. So let's see how this sounds, guys. So it should have a nice tone, and from my perspective it does. Usually of all the bikes that Harley deliver, they come with a standard exhaust pipe, and I'm sure most of you agree it's not up to our standards of how a Harley should sound, so you will need to modify. So let's just hear this, I mean. Yeah, from my perspective that is a very nice sounding bike. So let's get cracking. I want to get on the road. The weather is absolutely beautiful. Let's rock and roll. Okay guys, that's with all my test reviews. I'm going to go left down here, go for about a mile, go round the roundabout, check the manoeuvrability on the bike, and then I want to get it out onto the countryside, really get into the turns, looking at the power and speed of the bike. So without further ado, next time you see me, I'll be coming to that roundabout. Okay guys, just coming up to the roundabouts, let's see how this bike handles. The ground clearance is fantastic. Let's see how far I can lean. That is pretty crazy. Yes, that's good, that's awesome. I tell you what, this bike is a surprise. I haven't said anything yet, but travelling down the road towards that roundabout, I had some hints and tips on how to ride this bike, how to treat it, and oh my god, it's unleashed some more potential that I can see. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on the countryside and let's see how it really handles. So here we are guys, we're out on the countryside. Now what I want to see is what this power's like. Now, when you're test riding this bike, you need to make sure you're using that rev range, otherwise you won't feel the full potential. So without further ado, I'm in second gear, currently at 4,000, I'm going to take it up to 8. Let's do it! Jesus! It's a bat out of hell! What a machine! That is awesome, you can feel that! All that 123 brake horsepower kicking in! And I tell you what's great, shoulder check. The manoeuvrability of the bike just adds to that excitement. What's nice as well and very different, you've got a hydraulic clutch system. For me, and this is the first time I've been on it, we have take here. Oh, this is great! For me, I find it's more accurate. It's just got a better biting point, which is really good. Coming into a 60 now, guys. Typical behind the Fiat 500. The one thing I would add is when you're really driving that power, the way the seat is positioned and designed, it really sits your backside into the bike, so you don't feel like your ass is going to shoot off. So it's something you don't have to worry about. So let's just overtake here. I'm clear. Let's go. Oh, this is such a powerful bike. On the brakes, those Brembo brakes really kick in and they're very forgiving. I don't think I've ever been so quiet on a bike, and it's just because I'm having so much fun. Oh, it's just fantastic. The power itself is very balanced, and what I mean by that is as you go through that rev range, there's a consistency in the power. It doesn't feel like there's a drop-in point or there's a spike like a power band. It is very, very balanced. I'm really impressed with this so far. In terms of comfort, this bike is super comfy. I've been over a couple of potholes, and what I'm noticing is that I think because the tyre is so wide and that it's got a very good rear suspension system on this bike, it just doesn't feel as if I'm going to break my lumbar spine. It is an absolute cracker, absolute cracker. Again, let's get out on the open road. Using that rev range, that's how you ride this bike. Oh my gosh! Let's check this bend out. Oh, it's just fantastic. The only thing I would say, guys, is that because of the speed that you can get out of this bike, there's no real protection for your feet. So in terms of, and what I mean by protection, in terms of wind speed, there is quite a drag coming from it, which is, I suppose, a minor thing to put up with. Let's go around this roundabout. I honestly feel like I'm on a super bike. Oh, it's just so much fun. Really lean into those bends. So now, guys, I think we've done the open road test, and what I can definitely tell you is this bike, using that rev range, will give you so much torque and power, and more importantly fun. But now what I want to do is get in some really nitty gritty bends, and let's just see how this bike really performs under a bit of tight turning pressure. The rear brakes, they're not as great as the front in terms of braking power, but for me, I think you've got so much value at the front that you don't really need it as much. Bit of overtaking here. Let's get the rev range out. This is what I love about riding a Harley in the sun. It's just the best way to do it. Going down the gears, really getting into that bend. Let's open it up. There was a bit of front wheel that came up there. Awesome. You know, So if you're getting a Night Rod or a V-Rod, you've got to want it to do things like this, as far as I'm concerned. You're not going to plod it about like certain other Harley Davidson models. You've got to really ride it like a sports bike, as far as I'm concerned. That is the whole point of getting one. But the looks on the bike are magnificent. It's definitely an eye catcher. Oh, let's see what it's like on this bend. Woo! Bit of back end action came out. And that's the thing, guys, with the back end coming out as it did then, I felt like I could control it really well, purely based upon my seating position. The seat's very low, and based around the actual tyre width. Remember, you've got that 240 wheel at the back. What else is really good about this bike? I think it's got the best, as far as I'm concerned, the best shifting gearbox that I've ridden on a Harley Davidson. It's very smooth, it's not super clunky, and it's not soft like the street where I really had to feel, you know, kicking it up into gear. It's just got that really nice balance, and this bike is just, I don't think that's the word, it's so balanced. Came in then. Oh wow, what a bike, what a bike. So guys, let's run through this bike. So what do I think about the power? I think it's phenomenal. 123 brake horsepower, consistent power going through the revs, but please be aware, if you test review this bike, to get the most out of it, you've got to go through that rev range. Don't ride it like a normal Harley. If you have come off a Harley, you've got to ride it like with a sports bike mentality. Second thing, maneuverability. Do I like it? Oh hell yes, I love it. I think the 240 tyre is absolutely fantastic, coupled with you've got that low centre of gravity. I think the fact that you've got the fuel tank where it is just under your buttocks, it just gives you that extra maneuverability. Looking at the speed then, is that good? Does that compare? Yeah, definitely. For a muscle bike, it's got bags and bags of speed. It'll just pull all day long. In terms of comfort, for me, this is lovely. Forward controls at the front, good seat, wide surface area as well. It's got all the good makings of a comfortable bike as far as I'm concerned. In terms of style, I think it's great. Let's get this going. Oh, gee whiz. So in terms of style, do I think it's stylish? Yeah, absolutely, for a muscle bike. Now don't get me wrong, this bike first came out in 2002, and since then there's been a couple of tweaks here and there, from more tyre width to a different style of engine. In terms of different style, I mean a higher CC. So what don't I like about the bike, or what do I think needs improving on? For me, it boils down to this. Do you want a muscle bike? And that's all it is. It's as simple as that, because at the end of the day, it's a very specialist bike to have. If you're really honest with yourself, you'll look at this and go, yeah, I definitely want it, or not. So I think that is the only negative I have. It's a very specialist bike, and therefore there are not many people that would potentially go for it. But I think overall this is a fantastic bike. It's definitely put a huge smile on my face today, giving it a test review, and I bet you guys would feel the same as well if you went out and actually test rode it. As always guys, I hope you really enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please ensure that you also subscribe to my channel, lots going on. And please ensure that you also share on social media, and you're more than welcome to follow me on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all the good social media stuff. But without further ado, this is Moto New Brider signing off on a sunny day in Eastbourne on a beautiful Night Rod bike. Take care guys.